Nice to meet Good evening and welcome to the December 18th, 2023 meeting of Bedford City Council. Would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Smith?
Here.
Asbury?
Here.
Saunders?
Here.
Cochee?
Here.
Spinks? Here. Janudis,
Here.
Fluharty?
Here. Council, you have the minutes of the regular meeting of November 20th, 2023. Any corrections to those? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance by Asbury, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. And you have the minutes of the regular meeting of December 4th, 2023. Collections to those. Seeing none, motion for acceptance by Spinks, second by somebody. Janudis. Call the roll, please.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Saunders?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes.
Spinks?
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes. And we do not have the minutes for the work session of December 4th. So we'll move on. Let's see, Diane, is somebody here from Meals on Wheels? No. We will take care of that when they get here. So we'll go into a fun thing I like to do, and that's swearing in new people. I would like to have Ryan Frajowski. Stand over here so they get your good side on camera. And everybody, my favorite part of the job is when we're hiring new people. Bring new guys into the police department, the fire department. It's always an exciting time. People get energized because there's some new blood to come around. And then there's a rookie that they get to have to do all that dirty work. So, just kidding. Well, no, they do it. I was a rookie at one time. But it's good. It just gets people motivated. And we will start. You will repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ryan Frajowski,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Charter and laws of the City of Bedford,
and the charters and laws of the City of Bedford,
and faithfully,
honestly,
and impartially
just
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the position of police officer
of the position of police officer
for the City of Bedford,
for the City of Bedford,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have the chief say a few words there.
I'll say a few words after the second swearing in.
Okay.
Right now, Ryan, you want to have somebody come up with the official pinning on of the badge?
My dad.
Good, good.
Did you practice this one? I have a fireman in the house in case there's any injuries.
wife Kaylee, and that's my dad and my brother Kyle.
Very good.
Want to say a couple things, or you don't have to?
Well, I just want to say thank you for everyone who supported me and the chief and everybody here. It's been an honor to serve the city of Bedford since 2015 as an auxiliary and then a jailer and then working over at the court, and I look forward to continuing that.
Good, good job. Glad you're continuing. Brendan Adams. Yes.
Same thing, again, it's good to have you here, and it's always a pleasure to do this, so we'll get to business. I state your name.
I, Brendan Adams,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio
and the Charter and laws of the City of Bedford,
and the Charter and laws of the City of Bedford,
and faithfully,
honestly,
and impartially
impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the position of police officer
in the position of police officer
for the City of Bedford,
of the City of Bedford,
so help me God.
so help me God. Yeah, so,
Congratulations.
thank you.
We can have,
I'm gonna have the Adams.
come on up, everybody.
You can come up and take pictures of them.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Chief?
Brendan, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, sure. I just want to take the opportunity to thank my family, friends, and loved ones here that have supported me along this journey. It's been a while. I started this journey in March of this year while I was deployed to the Middle East, and I've applied everywhere. Like Chief asked in my interview, why'd you apply? I said, well, simply, Chief, because you were hiring, and when I told people I'm applying at Bedford, they wouldn't go, ooh, don't work there. So, so I appreciate everyone having support and faith in me, and it's got me here. So, thank you. Thank you.
Want to do?
Yeah, so over here on my left is the Honorable Judge Tammy O'Brien. My buddy from high school, Joey Sines, his dad, Joe Sines Sr. My youngest boy, Easton Hayes, he's 2. My oldest boy, Wyatt, he's 6. Grayson, he's 4. And my daughter, Sawyer, who's 1. And then my beautiful wife, Sarah, my father-in-law, Nathan Carmen.
Good, good.
All right, I just want to welcome Ryan and Brenda's families and friends here, and everybody else. Thanks for coming, supporting our officer. I would like to thank the city administration and city council and civil service commission for making these hirings possible. Really helps us out. So thank you again for all your support all year long. And Ryan and Brendan, I just have a couple words of advice for you. Throughout your careers here, just remember, always be true to yourselves, true to your family. Above all else, always honor the badge. If you'll excuse us, we're gonna stand on a hall.
get seats up front now. There you go. Who is? Yeah, I think we had a little mix-up on the start time because we used to start at 8 o'clock, so I think that's why Meals on Wheels isn't here yet, but we'll see if they come in, we'll do that presentation. And we'll get started with old business, ordinance number 93-23.
Amending ordinance number 10,043-22, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with GDP Group for engineering services within the city of Bedford and declaring an emergency.
And they have a motion for suspension. Spinks, second by Janutus. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Smith. Mike?
Yes, this is, as John stated, the city's engineering firm, GPD. This is approving all of their hourly rates for the various disciplines, should the city require them to perform various services throughout 2024. GPD provides all general engineering work, all infrastructure projects. What they also provide, which Bedford is unique than some communities, is we own and operate our own utility services, both water and wastewater, and GPD does have extended experience in engineering in those fields.
Okay, thank you. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Abstain.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 97-23.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Atwell's Police and Fire Equipment for the purchase of a tactical ballistic vest and a body armor for the fire department and declaring an emergency.
Have a motion for suspension by Janutus, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Asbury. Mike?
Mayor, the city has received multiple donations, one specifically earmarked for safety equipment for the fire department. We did identify the purchase of body armor vest custom for each individual. We are looking to utilize those donation funds to acquire 25 of them. Atwell's was the lower of the two quotes that we received. Our recommendation is to move forward with Atwell's. We do have 27 line officers. 2 of them are already equipped with these vests, as they are the officers responsible for responding to SEAL and SWAT instances. So the purchase of these 25 at zero effect to the general fund, the entire department will be outfitted.
Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Reports, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. A few items here. Obviously, want to take a minute and congratulate the 2 new officers to the department. I'm sure they will do very well. They went through an extensive process with civil service and the administration and chief. So we look forward to filling out the workforce. Also, a little off here, but I do want to acknowledge Jennifer and the Finance Department on the state award. Even though she's not here, you can explain it a little bit.
I could explain that now since you brought it up. We were going to do the presentation for the Finance Department, but unfortunately the auditor of the state is ill and she couldn't make it, so we're going to schedule it another time because I think it's important and we certainly want to have her here do the proper presentation. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Congratulations. Leaf collection is complete. Last week's weather allowed the service crews, we did make one more pass throughout the entire community. We actually hit each street 5 times, and obviously the weather turned today. So that will end collection and that services for the year. City Council, I did provide in last week's memo a snow plow list that we put together. In that snowplow list, it is made available down at the community center, and we are also going to work to make that available online. It lists a detailed, or it includes a detailed list of local contractors that provide snow removal, and I believe all of them are offering a senior discount. So if you know someone looking to contract with someone, those are local contractors that are registered with the city. And if you're looking for one, feel free to contact City Hall or the Ellenwood Center, and they can provide that for you. We are going around the police department, specifically the auxiliary officers. They have been working throughout December. It will go into January. We are canvassing the entire city, marking all of the streetlights that are out and taking the appropriate numbers so we can notify First Energy. We do this twice a year. Frustrating part is sometimes we're hitting these poles twice before First Energy is even making the repairs on that. But our police department is out, our auxiliary officers are canvassing in the evenings, and that list should be sent over mid-January. And I will provide City Council with a list of all of those lights that are identified. I will say they have gone down. The amount that we included in the spring of 2023 was less than the prior year, but there's still way too many on that list, especially when we're paying per light, per pole, regardless if they're on or not. So, I want to compliment the police department and all the volunteers and everybody that donated for Shop with a Cop. We had over 50 children that were sponsored. That is near the top of the amount that we've ever been able to take shopping for Christmas, or for the holidays, so thank you for everyone that made that happen. I also want to give compliments to the Parks and Recreation Department. We started a new program this year on the same day, Breakfast with Santa. It was a great turnout, over 160 individuals, 2 separate sessions. They continue to do a great job at additional programming for all ages, but also, as I detailed a couple weeks ago in the report, the amount of resources that they're making available to the public, and a lot of it is via grant money, and it's not costing the city anything. You know, it's targeting county grants, targeting state grants. They're really doing a good job, so kudos to them. Wally and Don, I appreciate your support over the years with the administration and working together. I wish both of you well. It's been a pleasure. Feel free to bug me. I know you'll bug me, so that's fine. And with that being said, on behalf of the administration and myself and family, I just wish everyone a safe and enjoyable holiday and New Year. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Montillo.
Just briefly, Merry Christmas, everyone. I enjoy working with Wally and Don all these years. Wish you good luck in the future, and if you ever need anything, don't hesitate. And I think you both did a great job, and look forward to working with their successors here in the future here, and congratulate Ryan and Brendan on their new positions, and congratulate Jen on her award, distinction, and what else? enjoy working with all of you. All of you, Merry Christmas. Thank you all. End of report.
Thank you. Madam Finance Director.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I wanted to say congratulations to the two new officers, Ryan Fredowski and Brendan Adams. Welcome to the city of Bedford. I also wanted to make an announcement that I did put out on social media, and I want to put out right now that there's going to be an open position on the Civil Service Commission, as one of our members is now a member of council, starting next year. So if you're interested, please send me a letter of interest and your resume so we can get another person on the board. We do have one applicant as of right now. I also wanted to express my appreciation to Wally and to Don for working with them, and I enjoy working with you and for the opportunity you gave me in this position as well. And for everyone, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, Mrs. Spinks.
Good evening, everybody. Congratulations to our two new police officers. Was fortunate enough to be able to serve pizza for the kids returning from their shopping trip with a Shop with the Cops. It was a lot of fun. They came back really hungry. They were allowed 3 pieces of pizza per kid, and each one of them, I think, ate 3 pieces of pizza. And probably could have ate more, but kudos to those guys for giving their time. A lot of them were off that day. I don't care what anybody says, but I tell you what, our fire department, our police department, our service department, I'm so proud to sit up here and represent Bedford because of the employees that we have. The rec center is just, it's rocking it. It is very welcoming for people that are moving in, and like I said, I don't care what they say, but our police department, fire department, all those guys, they just shine. They go beyond their jobs to serve our city. So that's just one of the fun things of, donating their time to do that. It was an honor to be able to do it this year with them. And again, kudos to the rec center. It just looks so festive. Those guys are just, the program, Sarah, all of them down there have just really brought a lot to our city, and I appreciate each and every one of them. I know a lot of people say, well, that's their job, that's what they get paid for. Well, I can tell you, because I've witnessed this, they go beyond their job. All of our employees do. I feel very safe living here in Bedford. Also, the museum is now closed until the end of January, but the museum store is still open on Tuesdays through Fridays. Lori will be there with someone else from 10 to 2. So you can go get those last minute Christmas gifts. Make sure you go up there and see Lori. She will start her sale, her 50% off, on December the 26th. So she's got a lot of merchandise up there. We had a very successful Chris Kendall Mart last weekend, very profitable. And only other thing I got to say is, again, to kind of go over what I said at last council meeting and what was in the water bill, please stop feeding the deer. Do some research. I told you a bunch of stuff that I had researched and I knew myself, but you're not helping them. You're hurting them. And now with winter, and again, they're eating milkweed, they're eating things, pollinators, which is not good for our earth. So if you want to save our city on the greenery and everything else, please stop feeding, because when you don't feed them, they go and they eat things that are not good for them. So hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty.
I gotta welcome the 2 new officers, Ryan and Brendan. I want to tell everybody up here on the panel here, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody here. And, oh yeah, we do have 2 people that aren't going to be here anymore. I forgot about them. Let's see, where did I write some notes down? Donald, I guess I'll start with you. I thought all these people were here for you, and they all left, so I'm happy with that. But you and I go way back from when we were little kids, playing ball and stuff, and so you and I got a little bit of a special bond. I'm gonna have to find somebody new to pick on. I'm gonna really miss you. I have nobody else, and I have to pick on the mayor a little more, I guess. But I just want to thank you for the service you put into the city for all the years. He's put in at least, what, 26, 27, something like that. That's a long time, and you should be proud of yourself for that. And I just wish you good luck in the future, and hopefully your health gets better. And like I said, come around, but don't call me. Just make sure you call one of them. I'm changing my phone number. But, and Wally, you've been next to me for 6 years. It's been nice working with you two, and I want you to wish you success and happiness in the future and whatever else you end up doing. So I want to thank you for being here when I'm whispering and saying things on the side, and you have to hear it half the time. So, but we all work together here pretty well, and we got a lot accomplished, and you two should be proud that you left Bedford in a good spot. And so I just want to thank you guys. Congratulations. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
First I would like to congratulate our two new officers. Hope that you have a good career here in the city of Bedford, safe career. It's been a pleasure working with Don and Wally. Hope that whatever endeavors that you go into or whatever you do, it will be safe and good for you and your family. Just like to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Have a safe and prosperous New Year. Thank you, end of report.
Mr. Asbury?
Thank you, Mayor. Again, congrats to our new patrolmen, Frajovsky and Adams. Hopefully you have a long and successful and safe career here in Bedford. Don and Wally, appreciate your service to the city. Only been on council for a couple of years. They know you much better than I do, but quality men indeed. Don, I think it was, I'm not sure, I think it was Vic that said that you were campaigning when Lincoln came through. I don't know if it's true, but I think he said that. Congratulations. Best of luck in your future endeavors, and thanks for your service to the city. I'd like to mention BDA, Bedford Downtown Alliance, the mitten fence is still up between Spirit Apotheosis and Giannino's on the black fence. If you need something, there are hats, scarves, gloves, homemade knitted items, store-bought apparel. If you need something, please do take it. If you have something to offer, please hang it up. And I would like to thank all the volunteers and the board of Bedford Downtown Alliance. This past year has been a pretty good year. We've had some nice events come downtown. And one person specifically that I would like to recognize, Miss Catherine Chach. She's president. This is her last term as president. It ends at the end of the year. She's been president for the last 3 years, and I've been involved in those 3 years. And I would like to thank her specifically for all the hard work, time, and dedication that she's put into Bedford Downtown Alliance. So Kathy, thank you, my friend. We'll go through the list here. Happy Festivus, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and I believe it's going to be Boxing Day just after that for our neighbors up north, eh? Have a safe and happy New Year, and thanks everybody for last year. End of report.
Thank you. Out of deference to seniority, I'll let Don go last. Mr. Janutis.
Oh, thank you. Well, this is, today's my last council meeting, as most of you know. 10 years has been a pretty good ride, never having been elected. It has been an immense learning experience. I'm accompanied today by my dance partner, the internationally renowned oil painter, Stanka Kordic. Stanka has exhibited in the European Museum of Contemporary Art in Barcelona as one of the 70 of the best female painters from 25 countries. I'm very fortunate to be privy to the cutting edge of modern art. Well deserved. Plus, I'll continue to garden and grow food. The quality of food as medicine, which is my vocation and life's work. When I started here, the city was mired in controversy and corruption. City workers escaped out the back door to avoid TV cameras. On top of that, the city faced a $4 million deficit from the surprising closure of Bedford Labs, where I worked for 34 years. The city has rebounded remarkably well, restored its cash reserves, and even expanded services with some exciting new projects in the works that will impact us for generations to come as a lasting legacy. One of the most important duties for council, to me, is the careful observation of the workings of the municipal government. And I'm here to report our city government is in good hands under the leadership of Mike Malice, along with John Mantello and Jennifer Holland. Sometimes I think I didn't really fit into the expectations for me in the position, except to be a foil against what I perceived as inherent meanness of the others to whom I could not consent. I lost a very large number of votes, 6-1, in council over the years without a single ally in the group. It has been a monumental frustration, I have to say. But I meant to persevere, of course. I always thought it was important to give voice to minority opinions because they constitute the values of a very large number of people who deserve to be represented also. I know that everyone doesn't stand for what I stand for, but our convictions mean nothing if we didn't voice them. I think sometimes I probably come off as kind of new agey because I'm given over to non-toxic environments, organic gardening methods, and the plant world as a means to optimal health, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Ward 2 has around 200 houses with woods in the backyard. Living here my whole life, I've always been a steward of the woods and the wildlife, which I believe is Bedford's greatest asset. That is our natural capital. I have to say the best part as council member is the people I've met, and I wouldn't have otherwise. And so many of my neighbors and being able to venture into people's backyards, I often wondered about as a kid. Bedford is the byproduct of the people who are here. If you don't like the people, you can't like Bedford, and vice versa. For me, to take the stand that Bedford is a wonderful place to live apparently was not a popular one with the electorate. Contentment is not considered a virtue in this modern world. And I have to say that I've never felt unsafe walking the streets of Bedford at any time of the day or night, but I know that's not everyone's experience. I feel especially bad for the kids. When we were kids, we walked in the street, we played ball in the street, we congregated at the corners, and the parks and playgrounds. When did that become a bad thing? Four-star Army General and Bedford grad spoke to us at a Memorial Day ceremony. His message to the city of Bedford was this: the kids are not the enemy. The real enemy of our country is all the debashing and demoralizing commentary we are engaging in, and I've heard so often in these chambers. Being retired now from service, I'm happy knowing that I've done a good and loyal job for the people of Bedford, and I'm very proud of having done it. I also welcome the relief from it, the grave responsibility of it. It has been said, man cannot feel or even think properly when his mind is not in a pleasant state. So in the end, I plan to withdraw into seclusion. My peace of mind being returned to me can only be considered my humble reward. Thank you. End of report.
Thank you, Warren. Mr. Saunders.
I'll get last up this time. This is going to be a little weird because I've been the only one that's sat in this seat since this building was built, and actually I was in the old City Hall for quite a few years also. But I do want to thank all those that have supported me over the last 30 years, 26 of which I was their representative for council in Ward 6. I appreciate everything that you did to help me get along. As Wally had mentioned, you learn a lot. I knew a lot to begin with because I worked in public works for almost, well, it's closing in on 50 years now. God, I'm getting old. But I did want to say I worked with 4 city managers and 1 part-time city manager. Well, he was a temporary city manager. And I've gone through 4 mayors. So it's been quite a, how would you say, administration change each time. So we've worked together. We may not have agreed on everything, but we've always come to a conclusion that has benefited the city. I think the city of Bedford has held itself together, even though we had some bad times when Benvenue closed their doors, and we've got a slight bad time right now because the hospital left. But they will get through it. We've had a lot of infrastructure. We've had a lot of grants done. We tend to get things accomplished, unlike if you drive around some of the other communities, they seem like they get nothing done. So when I first ran 30 years ago, I had a list of items that I wanted to see accomplished while I served on council. Out of that list, every single thing was accomplished, with the last one being the GIS system, which we just started here a couple years ago, which, though it may not be quite used to its full extent yet, it is working, and then it will ultimately save the city time, money, and a lot of other headaches. So that is working, and it should help everything going on in the future. Of course, technology, well, a lot of people are scared of it, but there are certain aspects of technology that can really make the job move forward a lot easier. I've met a lot of people in this position. I served as president twice in the Northeast Ohio City Council Association and was one of the council people who brought in the city of Cleveland, because prior to that it was known as the Greater Cleveland City Council Association. When Cleveland joined, that was when we changed the name to Northeast Ohio City Council Association. I only served president twice. I served in every office in there at least twice too. So the big nationally, I served as the Ohio Municipal League's representative on their infrastructure committee for the National League of Cities. So that, of course, is a national committee, and we went over the whole national budget for infrastructure and so forth, and information technology. So we've had a say-so, even though we're a little community, we've had a say-so in some of the big national decisions too. So I thank everyone for the opportunity to be able to be involved in all of that, and we'll see where we go from here. I will be fully retired, even though I've been retired from the Cuyahoga County Engineer's Office for 22 years. Doesn't seem that long, but I retired from Northfield Center Township a month and a half ago, and at the end of the month, of course, council will be done, so I will be fully retired and looking to do something, I guess. But once again, I definitely want to thank all the residents, not just in Ward 6, but the support that I've had throughout the city too. It's been a very interesting ride, and anybody that's thinking of doing this job, go ahead and run and do it. You'd be surprised at how beneficial it can become. So at the same time, I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, a happy, healthy New Year, and we'll still be around town, so we'll see people around, and anybody can still call me, even though I won't be on council. But have a good holiday, and we'll see you around. Thank you.
I kind of hate to see you leave, because now I'm the old guy on the council. As far as serving.
Yeah, serving, right.
Well, probably the other way too.
Yeah.
But again, thank you guys both for your time and dedication to the job, and
Thanks for the opportunity.
for the most part, we agreed on stuff.
Well,
For the most part.
we made everything work.
We did, and we got things accomplished. And like you say, you both said, it's been a team effort. Not one of us up here does it by ourselves. It's all of us, and again, thank you for your service, dedication to the city for both of you. And with that, I'm going to change a little bit, and we're going to call up Mrs. Estelis. We have a little check for you.
Oh.
Yeah, come over here. Yeah, so you can be on the camera. Smile.
Would you have to get a Visa card because you live in Macedonia now? You were late?
No, we forgot to tell you, we started 7 o'clock.
Yes, thank you.
My fault. So anyhow, as you know, our city employees get to have dress down day every Friday. They can wear jeans to work if they put a buck in the kitty for Meals on Wheels. So, been a bunch of days that they've done this, and it makes me proud to hand the Meals on Wheels, because they do so much work for the citizens around, not only Bedford, but the surrounding communities that Meals on Wheels helps. And I'm trying to grab that.
No, but I won't grab it.
But, so I want to give you this on behalf of our employees.
I don't know.
You can open if you want. Oh, you're here representing Dinah, I know.
Oh my, that will help a lot of people. Yes.
That's a lot of days of wearing jeans. It's
Yeah.
For $1,000.
1,000. Thank you so much. Meals on Wheels is
know, one of my favorite things to do, as you know. And I want to thank our council members because we are blessed with four members from the council that are participants in delivering these meals or getting food to the people who need it. So we appreciate that. We also operate a angel fund, if you will, that supports people who can't afford to pay anything for their meals. And this is where that comes in handy, because we've got a lot of people who can't afford the $4 for a meal. And we take care of them. We make sure they get food. And so this is going to do that. Thank you very much.
Good. Don't go away.
Don't go away.
Vic here from the fire department, I think, wants to have something to say here.
Is it one of
Join in and
Okay.
contribute as the city employees do. We don't get dressed down, obviously. But the firefighters would like to also donate to Meals on Wheels.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you. And for Meals on Wheels, I just want to thank the city and the firefighters.
You're very welcome.
And as you may know, I have a connection with the firefighters. Another 500. That is really good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very good. We pass that along to them. We'll take it.
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Those are two of the exemplary people that I met here as a city council person, and these two people are great. Yeah, so it's this.
Oh, well, thank you. Even though we moved out to the
But you're still giving to Bedford, you're still involved.
Still here,
doing
still
it.
here.
We spend more time here than we
Yeah.
do.
You're right, Wally. You do so much for Meals on Wheels, and
Lions
together
Club.
we appreciate what
Lions
you
Club.
guys and the whole Meals on
Hard
Wheels
workers.
family does, so
Yes.
thank you.
That organization is something. It
Yep.
really
Yep.
is.
If you would like to volunteer, it's an hour,
Yeah.
hour and a half out of your day,
Let us know.
once a week.
Yep.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
Get a hold of
All
any
the
one of us
volunteers
or
that you get.
Meals on Wheels.
Let me-
All right, let's get down to business. And resolution number 2610-23. Oh, it's our new athletic director. I'm sorry. Is there anything you'd like to say before we get into business?
I don't know, should I wait? I just had a fall report, but I wasn't on the agenda, so it's okay. I didn't want to.
Well, we stopped now. You can come on over.
Get it done.
We're flexible here. We can do that.
It's okay, pass these
Yeah,
out. Okay.
absolutely, thank you.
Doing that. How are you? The commander.
Yes, it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guys want.
Yeah, I want to say you already got one.
Sir, yes.
Yep.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you. I will be real quick here. So, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, thank you for the time. When I first got the job, one of the things that I tried to do was get around to all of the city councils and make sure that I got to meet everybody, obviously, because that's important. I realize that the work that everyone up here does is very important in supporting me and our students and our teachers and everyone else that's affiliated with Bedford City School District. So one of the things that I think it's important to do is make sure that I keep all of you in the loop, and that's for that support us in terms of the great things that we're doing with our student athletes. So I won't read all of this stuff verbatim, but I do want to point out that I am not a team of one, I am a team of three. My athletic secretary, Heather Layton, plays a huge role in what I do and the things that we're able to do as a department. And not only that, Mr. Dan Brenson, who is our assistant athletic director, also plays a huge role in the success that we have. So I'll just kind of breeze through all of our fall, athletics and the good things that they were doing. What you'll notice is there's a common theme with a lot of the athletes throughout the fall. A lot of the teams carried multiple players or multiple student athletes who had very high GPAs. And one of the things that we'd like to do is shout that out. So for example, our Lady Bearcat soccer team, 19 student athletes on the team, 13 of them ended the year with a 3.0 or better. And the team's overall GPA was a 3.4. So again, one of the things that I came in and I tried to emphasize this year was student in front of athletes. So that's one of the things that we like to hang our hat on. Obviously, from a competitive standpoint, that's not necessarily the record that we want, but only losing one senior means that entire team's coming back. So I think there's good things on the horizon for that group. Moving on to our boys soccer team, took second place in the league, actually hosted a playoff game and won it before eventually kind of getting bumped out in round 2. But again, 21 student athletes on the team, 11 of them were postseason academic All-Americans, team GPA at 3.2. So again, very, very important to me that we continue to emphasize how important doing well in school is, because one of the things that we push to the kids is when college coaches come around asking, conversation's very brief if your grades aren't up to par. So with that in mind, I think that culture is kind of starting to set in. Moving ahead, girls volleyball team, the creme de la creme, so to speak, 27 student athletes, 20 of them had a GPA of 3.0 or better at the end of the season. The team's GPA overall was at 3.5. And once again, that group is only losing one student. We have one senior in that program. So again, a very good group of girls led by Coach Kiara Witherspoon, who, for all intents and purposes, is going to continue to grow our program. Moving ahead, Coach Toast's football program. 5-5, but we still managed to share the league title with Maple and Lorraine. It was kind of like this circle of trust where we all beat each other. So ended up working out well for us. We missed the playoffs by literally, I want to say, 1/10 of a point. So we were in spot number 17, the top 16 go. So, but once again, teachable moments and all of that. We actually had the league MVP on the team too, Mr. J.J. Hudson. So very impressed with him. JJ's also one of our kids who is the epitome of a student athlete. I believe JJ carries either a 3.9 or 4.0 GPA. So again, very good things happening in the classroom for Coach Toast's group. I will move on here. Our cheerleaders, one of the things that I'm big on is making sure that all of our athletics are treated as athletes. So cheerleaders, from my standpoint, are every bit the athlete that all of our other athletes are. So they work just as hard, they prepare, they train, they do it all. Again, 29 athletes in this group, 14 of them were postseason academic All-Americans. We actually had a couple of our cheerleaders be recognized on a national stage by participating in a national cheer camp. And one of our cheerleaders actually just was in Atlanta over the weekend participating in a cheer combine. So the same way that you see a lot of these 5-star camps that these athletes go to, well, they're going to do the same thing for cheer. So I'm hoping that Alana came back with some good news. I haven't been able to catch up to it yet, though, to find out how her weekend was. Cross-country team, very small, but again, I'd like to mention Hashay Commons, who this was his first year running cross-country, and he managed to win the open meet at the George Gross Invitational at Cuyahoga Heights High School. So one of those kids who he doesn't even know how good he is, and you have to kind of convince him to run, and then he goes and runs, and he just goes home with a medal. Just, not smiling, not too high, not too low. Again, a group that we're going to look to grow. I do want to point out for our cross-country program that Heskett actually hosted an invitational this year. There were roughly 75 to 80 middle school kids running cross country from different schools. It was a great way for us to be able to showcase what we have and for other communities to be able to see the good things that are going on here in Bedford, Bedford Heights, Oakwood, Walton Hills. One of the things that I like to try and focus on is, again, grades. So you see that common theme here. So just some numbers for you. Out of all of our fall athletes, 88 of them were preseason academic All-Americans. So what we do is we really shine a light on those kids who are 3.0 or better. And I try to throw different things at them. For example, if you're a 3.0 or better, let's say you're a cross-country runner, well, you get into football games for free. Trying to really, really push grades and the emphasis on doing well in the classroom. But the thing I'm probably most proud of is we came into the season with 88 preseason academic All-Americans. We ended the fall with 91. So that means we acquired a few more. So for these kids to keep up the good grades or even get better and be involved in athletics, that says a lot, I think, about our coaches, about our kids, about our teachers, about our administration. Winter athletics, I know we're already underway, but out of all those teams, we have 120 kids who are 3.0 or better so far. So again, it's very exciting for me to be able to come out and brag about the kids. I mean, that's what I'm doing here. So to brag about the kids and all the hard work that they put up and they put forth and being able to showcase it and being able to share with everyone the good things that are going on. And then, as always, again, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here, but I got to have a plan moving forward. So one of my plans is to take a look at our athletic facilities in terms of our weight room. What types of things can we do to increase that, to make it better, to make it a little bit more quality? What purchases can we look into making while being fiscally responsible, for sure. I'm very big on PD for our coaches. I know there's all types of clinics and conferences that our coaches can go to, and they can kind of talk to each other and mingle, and so to speak. And I think that stuff is important because in my experience going to professional development for coaches and clinics, it's little nuggets that you can pick up from hearing guys speak that you can then take back to your own program and make it work. I'm also big on evaluation of our coaches. So all of our coaches at the end of the fall had a sit-down meeting with me, and we discussed the things that were great, and we discussed the things that need to be great for us to continue to push our kids to the next level. And then another thing that I'm very big on is increasing communication. So I really, really want to get into our website and start doing a whole lot more with it. So by all means, check it out at some point. We're really trying to start pushing getting our kids featured. Hopefully you'll start to see an uptick in the articles about each of our kids, all of our sports being focused on and written about as opposed to just like football or basketball. So trying to get swimming in there as much as I can, and wrestling and cheer and everyone else, and making the website kind of have our kids. If you look at it now, it's kind of like I guess almost like the generic kids that came with the site, so to speak, that aren't Bedford kids at all. So over the next 2 to 3 days, you're going to see our kids show up on those side panels. So again, I want to make sure that our kids are being featured in all the great things that they're doing. Outside of that, that is the end of my fall report. I appreciate the time.
Mr. Commander, thank you, and this is encouraging, especially for some of these teams for next year too. That,
Absolutely.
Good things happening, and things, this is your first year here, and things are going the right direction.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
And I always tell people, we got good kids up at high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this just highlights some of those reasons why.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you for the time.
Thanks for coming. Okay, now I can start. Resolution number 2610-23.
Authorizing the city to hold its ceremonial organizational meeting on January 3rd, 2024, and declaring an emergency.
Can I have a motion for suspension? Smith, seconded by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
No.
Asbury,
No. Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Yes, yes.
I'll explain in a moment.
Yeah.
You confused us.
Oh, you got it, yeah.
Oh.
Just for the suspension. I'll explain it in a moment.
Yes, yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis.
Yes.
Motion for third and final.
Woo.
By Fluharty.
No, I like to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't call?
Fluharty.
You don't matter anymore.
Yes.
But I heard the name. Anyhow, motion for third and final. By Spinks, second by Janudis. The reason for this, we were looking at changing the date from January 2nd, but January 2nd is a holiday for City Hall, along with the 1st. But in looking at our charter, the charter says we shall meet on January 2nd at 8 o'clock for our organizational meeting. So we will be meeting on January 2nd at 8 o'clock. So when you get to vote now, you can say no. Call the roll.
Smith,
No.
Asbury,
No.
Saunders,
No.
Cochi,
No.
Spinks,
No.
Janudis,
No.
Fluharty.
No.
Thank you. Ordinance number 102-23.
Amending ordinance number 10,033-22, making additional appropriations for current expenditures of the city of Bedford during the year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Janudis, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochi,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janudis,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
I keep jumping the gun. Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Asbury. Jen?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for putting this on third reading. This is the final and last appropriation ordinance for this year. It needs to be passed before the end of the year. And I'll try to keep this brief. The major changes, I'll give you an increase of $100,000 in the tax department for tax refunds. We have not changed the budget at all this year, so it ended up being a $220,000 budget for that, and it's usually about what it ends up every year. The council approved a mini split at the last meeting, I believe, or the one before, and also firewalls for the police department, appropriating for those for $31,000. We're gonna appropriating a transfer over to capital improvements fund from general fund, as we have some savings in the general fund from not hiring a receptionist this year. In Fund 212 fire equipment, ambulance fees have gone up, but that means that also ambulance revenue went up, so that's a good thing, but we still need to cover the cost of the budget. Grants fund, both the fire department and police department received their Eagles donations, and each for $5,500 each. Need to appropriate the use of those funds, and an increase of $104,000 for the fire department employee retention ARPA grants, and that's 104 in, 104 out, so there's no cost to the city on that. Appropriating for the workers' comp grant that we just approved last meeting for just over $9,000, and recreation CSSP grant keeps getting money. We need to appropriate the spending of that money, another $11,000 there. In Fund 217, that's our American Rescue Plan Fund. That's the ARPA fund. This is the final $7,800 that's from interest earnings that I'm appropriating so we can spend those. Fund 221's refuse collection, there's a small $25,000 increase in the cost of refuse this last year. Part of it due to dumpsters that have not been billed to us in a couple of years actually. We're paying for this year finally. And then 403, that's capital projects fund. Last meeting, council approved purchase of MDTs for the police cruisers, for the MDTs themselves and for their installation. And another ordinance in the water fund for the Edison here and the additional water line improvements. That's being included in this. That'll be it for for this. Thank you.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion number 103-23.
Authorizing the city manager to enter a contract with Senior Transportation Connection for transportation services for the residents of the city of Bedford and declaring an emergency.
Have a motion for suspension by Saunders, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks, Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Janutus, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please. Start up. Mike, take that before we move.
Very quick, this is an extension of the transportation services contract that we currently have in place with Senior Transportation Connection. This will extend the contract through 2024 to provide the services for the residents in town that need transportation, medical. They provide group trips for residents that want to go to Giant Eagle or Mark's, doctor's appointments, things of that nature.
Good. Now call the roll.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 104-23.
Authorizing a contract with Flock Services for the utilization of cameras in the city of Bedford, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Janutus, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Asbury. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. This is also an extension of our current contract with Flock Safety. Flock is the company, we installed 16 cameras at the entrance points of the city at various locations. When necessary, we can pull the video. They are license plate reading cameras, but what makes Flock unique is these cameras are all over Northeast Ohio. If we are looking for a specific vehicle, specific license plate, and we enter it into that system, our officers are notified if it pings in Brecksville or if it pings in Lakewood. So it's already been a huge tool and resource in helping investigators and solving a couple of different vehicle thefts. And our recommendation is we do extend that contract now. If we were to vote on this in 2024, there will be an increase. So we would like to extend that at this point.
Yeah, and again, just to inform everyone, we do not sit and monitor the cameras looking for people doing stuff wrong. This is criminal activity. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Abstain.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 105-23.
Authorizing a contract with Atlantic Emergency Solutions for the purchase of a new ladder truck for the fire department and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Saunders, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Janutus, second by Fluharty. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. A few meetings ago, we did pass legislation accepting a FEMA federal grant for a new ladder truck in the fire department. That grant was in the amount of $1 million. Our staff, we have been working to identify the vehicle and the manufacturer to provide that piece of equipment, which will be a Pierce. Atlantic Emergency Solutions is the manufacturer. The total price of the new ladder truck is $398,917, so $2.4 million. We will be getting a grant of $1 million. The city will be responsible for the additional $1.4 million. The anticipated delivery time is between 3 and 4 years. We don't have to pay until that piece of equipment is at 165 Center Road. We are working on the financials, which can be determined at a later point. However, we do need to vote on this contract by the end of 2023 because there is a 2% increase annually if we wait and vote on it in 2024. Although there is the 3 to 4 year delivery time frame in the contract, it does reference 1,825 days, which is 5 years. If it is not provided by that amount of time, there will be penalties to the manufacturer.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 106-23.
Amending ordinance number 10,041-22 passed on December 19th, 2022, providing compensation for the clerk of court, and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Janutus, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Asbury. Mike?
I could just speak to it, Mayor.
Yeah, John.
Pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, the clerk of court is entitled to a raise each year based upon the current rates for the judge's salary. And that is why the increase is, it's 1.75% as dictated by the Ohio Supreme Court. So he gets a raise because they have said so, so. That's the way it is.
Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 107-23.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Montrose Ford to purchase 2 2023 Ford Explorers and declaring an emergency.
And motion for suspension by Saunders, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final. Janutus, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please. No. Mike, you want to talk about that?
Thank you, Mayor. We did budget for 2 new cruisers in the police department in 2024. We would like to pass this evening to secure these vehicles. Obtaining the Fords have been very difficult throughout the year. We've located 2 at Montrose Ford, which does have the state bid price. That price is just over $87,000 for both of them. We will still be required to equip those. However, we will come in substantially below the budgeted amount. I anticipate these 2 vehicles, even though we're passing it this evening and reserving them, we would not see these until late summer, if not the fall of 2024. And they will be replacing 2 vehicles that have north of 130,000 engine hours.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 108-23.
Authorizing a contract with the City of Bedford patrolmen, adopting the terms of the attached November 30th tentative agreement and ordering them into effect, declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Saunders, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final Spinks. Mike?
Speak to the next three, since they're
Yeah,
almost
go ahead,
over.
they're all contract items.
I will speak to the next three pieces of legislation as they're all contract related. The city began, the current collective bargaining agreements expired at the end of 2023. We began negotiating with the various unions earlier this fall, roughly September, August, September, I believe we started. These next three pieces of legislation are agreements that we have agreed to with the police department, patrolmen, police department, sergeants, and lieutenants, as well as AFSCME, which is all of our service department employees. Basically, there is increase, I'll just go over a couple of the big ticket items. It's insurance, employee premiums will increase from 8% to 9%, and then again to 10%. There is caps as far as family takes into account those satisfying the wellness program that was in place, as well as wage increases of 3% for 24, 25, and 26. I'd like to thank the unions. I think it was a good process, a respectable process, and I think they were fair contracts. Police Department ratified and approved these a couple of weeks ago, and the AFSCME members voted this past Friday and also approved the contract.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 109-23.
Also, authorizing a contract with the Bedford sergeants and lieutenants, adopting the terms of the November 30th, 2023 tentative agreement and declaring them into effect and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Janutus, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Smith. And Mike explain these. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Ordinance number 110-23.
Authorizing a contract with Ohio Council 8 and Local 2007, American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFL-CIO, adopting the terms of a December 13th, 2023 final package proposal, ordering them into effect and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Saunders, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Janutus, second by Spinks. Mike explained, it's the contract. Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
And now we come to the hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Barbara McDaniel, 186 Center Road. And Wally Donald, I wish you a good retirement. And Wally, you got 2 green thumbs. I hope you'll enjoy your gardening more. You always grew all these plants for garden club. Bedford Boys, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And you were always very thoughtful in considering any issue. Thank you. And Donald, I've known you since you were 10. Your mom since you were, well, for 60 years. Your family has always been like mine. I've learned a lot from them, and I really hope you enjoy your retirement, and I hope you feel a little better. And I hope you get a smaller house with 1 floor. But thank you both. because this, Bedford is a special community. Things don't always change a whole lot, but sometimes they do. So thank you. Oh, and in the audience, we have a new council person for next year. Steve?
Thank you. And we have Tony too.
There's two, Kim.
Anyone else? Seeing none. A motion for adjournment by Janutus, second by Saunders.
There you go.
Call the roll, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks, Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming.